So it looks like most console gamers are still pretty happy with playing games on last generation consoles, and they don't feel like upgrading to a new one. Why? Because most games they play are still running on last gen consoles. Let's look into it. But before we look into it, let's check iniba.com. They offer games for Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo and PC, and as always, they've got a ton of games on sale like Ghost of Tsushima for PC and Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 is out for Xbox and PC. So let's check this offer over here. There's Steam codes here and Xbox Game Pass. You can play that game via Game Pass on both Xbox and PC. So let's grab this one, for example. Why not? This is actually an Xbox code, but I mean, you can actually find a Steam code too. This game is actually cheaper. Buy now. So let's click on buy now. As always, we can add more games to the cart. So actually, I've got quite a lot of them over here. So I've got Ghost of Tsushima as well in the cart. We can add additional one. How about Final Fantasy? Why not? That's for PC, if I'm not mistaken. Steam account, yeah. And now just proceed to checkout. And all you have to do now is just select a payment of your choice. And that's it. You're done, guys. So iniba.com, you will find the link in the description of this video below. Okay, guys, welcome back to the channel. So before we talk about next gen problem, as I call it, I would like you to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, if you like content like this, and don't forget to share this video. You know what they say, sharing is caring. So yeah, please do so. Anyway, let's talk about the topic at hand. So I want to really talk about two reports, very interesting reports. The first one comes from Windows Central, courtesy of Jez Corden, and I think in one of his articles, or maybe he spoke about it during one of his podcasts, he did say that Microsoft did share some data with him, basically showing them that half of console users, Xbox consoles users, are still playing games on last generation hardware. So I forgot, I don't really know what the number it really is, but they Jez is saying that half of the users for Xbox is on last gen consoles, right? So if we assume that there's like 30 million Xbox Series S and X users, owners, we can assume that around 30 million still play games on Xbox Series S and X, and generally speaking, last gen. Same actually. Well, not the same report, but similar data comes from PlayStation. That's official information from a couple of days ago, I think, week or maybe 2 weeks ago. There was this report, financial call and that kind of stuff, right? That report actually says pretty much the same. Obviously, the numbers are different in a sense that there's more PlayStation players, so more. There's more last gen, there's more gamers playing on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro than Xbox One, but it's still like half. Basically, what this report says from Sony is that half of PlayStation gamers, users, are still playing games on PlayStation 4s and PlayStation 4 Pros. So it's a basically 50-50 split for both Xbox and PlayStation, right? So that's a lot of users. So really, if you really think about both PlayStation and Xbox numbers combined, 30 Xbox and is it like 60 PlayStation almost? So, roughly around 90 million console owners, so next gen console owners. So around 90, because that's just half of the whole install base. We're not counting Switch here. 90 million of PlayStation and Xbox users are still playing on last gen consoles. So why is it happening? Why people do not upgrade to next gen consoles? Because we are talking about casual gamers for the most part. And I even know people here in Poland that I know for a fact that they still play games on last gen consoles. Why? Because for the most part, we're talking about kids, right? Kids these days don't necessarily care about graphics that much really and performance and everything, as long as they can play FIFA, Madden, Minecraft, Call of Duty, these type of games, GTA, right? If these games run, there's no need to upgrade really, right? When it comes to when it comes to kids, they usually have like a smaller TVs in their rooms if they have one, right? So they don't even need like a big console because they'll be playing at in 1080p anyway for the most part, probably, right? And it all makes sense. It all really makes sense, and this is actually a little bit of a problem for both companies, both Xbox and PlayStation, but only to a degree, because obviously when you look at the sales numbers, especially, really both Xbox and PlayStation are not reaching their goals. Obviously, Xbox is in more dire, situation, I guess, because, they are not really selling a lot of consoles, especially lately, but hey, what do you expect if you don't release any games, right? It's going to be interesting to see how the sales number is going to look like. Not even after Hellblade launch, because Hellblade is still a niche game, but other games launching later this year. So I'll be curious to see those numbers. And but whether we're talking about Xbox or PlayStation, they want to sell more consoles. They want users to upgrade. But they're not necessarily interested in that, right? There's obviously also situations where people own PCs. They've got number of consoles, right? So sometimes you've got like an Xbox Series or PlayStation 5 console in the living room, and kids are still using Xbox One or PlayStation 4 consoles to play Fortnite, Minecraft, or one of these games, right? And these games still run, quite alright. Loading speeds are slow as hell, but hey, once you log in, they have, fun with it anyway. So, it is a little bit of a problem, and not really in a sense that, when you really want to push the better graphics, better performance, and that kind of stuff, for developers, it's a really difficult situation to be in, because on one hand, you want to have as big of the customer market as possible, right? And so really, when it comes to games, it makes sense to support both current and last gen consoles, because the market is huge. We're talking about even if 90 million is still playing games on last gen consoles, it's like 180 million consumers, like buyers, right? And some people say, well, they don't buy games anyway, they play Fortnite, Call of Duty, and that kind of stuff, right? Sure. And that's why some developers that they know their game is not catered to, the younger audience, they won't care, and they will just release a next gen game, right? But games like Call of Duty, Fortnite, and these type of games, basically developers of these games actually do want to support these old consoles, because we're talking about like 19 million consumers potentially, right? And even if we're talking about like free to play games like Fortnite, but the money is still there, because the amount of microtransactions, skins, battle passes, and stuff these kids actually buy. Parents buy that stuff for them, like I do that for my son. I don't really support it, that much really, but hey, at the end of the day, he's colleagues, my son's colleagues, do buy these, skins or whatever, and he wants some of it too. So I'm not necessarily spending too much money on it, but once for a while, I will buy him a battle pass or some other stuff, and so that generates revenue for all these companies, even though the the console may be old, but although my son is upgraded, he's on Xbox Series S, but some of his colleagues still play games on Xbox One, for example, right? They are playing the usual kind of service games, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Minecraft, and that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, guys, it's an interesting generation because the cost of consoles, games generally speaking, not console games, but games overall, just goes up. Like, I mean, that's nothing new, but I think it's like the last couple of years, because of the inflation and everything that, COVID actually caused that for the most part. The inflation and stuff that, actually, the money needed to produce a game just skyrocketed, right? And that's why they need these customers. That's why a lot of these games still are on last-gen consoles. And there's actually interesting conversations going on right now about some of these games going like proper next-gen, like GTA 6 is going to be a proper next-gen game. And, whenever new Call of Duty comes out, next-gen Call of Duty comes out, whether that's going to be this year or next year, that will make a lot of people to upgrade to. So, I'm very curious how that's going to play out. I'm kind of curious really now whether Call of Duty will go next-gen this year or not. I would imagine, because like they may still want to cater to last generation crowd, and I don't think Microsoft, Xbox could potentially want to upgrade, but at the same time, not really, because that means less money, I guess, for them, right? Like, that will make some people upgrade, but is that really going to be enough? I don't know. That's why I'm not so 100% sure if next Call of Duty is going to be a proper next-gen game, because we are looking at some of these games from our own perspective. Hey, we are next-gen, right? It's current gen now. It's been almost like 4 years now, but believe it or not, half of console gamers still play games on last-gen consoles, and that's a huge market. Roughly 90 million consumers, and they may not be the biggest spenders when it comes to like single-player games or like new games, but when it comes to these seasonal games like FIFAs, Call of Duties, and that kind of stuff, these companies still want to sell these games to these guys, to these kids, and that's why I'm not so sure if new Call of Duty will be proper next gen, but hey, I may be wrong. I mean, I would like a proper next gen Call of Duty this year, because that means, better game, better graphics and everything, right? But yeah, I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be the case. But anyway, guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.